Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, I'm Courtney Ryan, and today we're going to be talking about how introverts can build connection and chemistry with women. I think there are a ton of misconceptions about introverts, and as an introvert myself, I feel pretty confident saying that. It's often made out to be a bad thing, or it's just flat out incorrect. Things like introverts are antisocial, shy, unfriendly, but that's not necessarily true at all. There are actually many positive qualities that come along with being introverted and plenty of ways to use them to your advantage in your everyday life, but also in terms of dating, which I'm going to be discussing in this video. More specifically, traits that are going to help you with creating connections and building chemistry with women. Now, keep in mind, not every introvert in the world is exactly the same. Some of these might apply to certain people and not apply to others. We have to leave room for nuance, but I don't want you to have limiting beliefs about yourself because of incorrect information that you've heard about being introverted. So the first way that introverts can build chemistry and connections with women is through great conversations. Now, a great way to build a connection and chemistry with women in general is through great conversations. Ultimately, this is how we get to know someone to figure out if the compatibility is there. Now, introvert doesn't mean that you have social anxiety or you're shy. These are totally different things, and just because you're an introvert doesn't mean you aren't a great conversationalist. So if you've been convincing yourself of that, it stops now. And there are actually quite a few qualities about many introverts out there that make them great conversationalists. The first one being that they're great listeners. Being a good listener is a key to connecting with people on a deeper level. It shows compassion, it shows empathy, and makes the people you're speaking to feel like you care and walk away from that conversation thinking that it was a good one, because it probably was. Listening actually makes people more interested in you in return. Introverts are also empathetic. They're genuinely curious. Introverts are often very introspective, thoughtful, and have a genuine curiosity for the things or the people that they're interested in. They get to know you on a deeper level because they remember small details and are genuinely curious about you. I'm going to go more in depth on this point later in the video, so hang tight. And honestly, a lot of the things I'm going to talk about today in this video point back to the fact that introverts can be really great conversationalists. They have a lot of positive qualities when it comes to socializing and interaction that aren't often highlighted, again, because it's often tied to being socially awkward or shy or having social anxiety. But as I mentioned before, those are entirely different things than being an introvert and actually have nothing to do with true introversion. So just wanted to clear that up. The fact that you're an introvert does not mean that you're not great at conversation. And us introverts actually have a lot of qualities that make us good at conversations and interacting with people, which at the end of the day is a very powerful way to build connection and chemistry with a woman. Next is the power of intention. This is sort of an introvert superpower. Introverts often approach interactions with purpose and thoughtfulness. Their intentionality stems from a preference for deeper, more meaningful conversations rather than a ton of surface level or superficial interactions. The deliberate nature of their actions and words often contributes to creating a really solid foundation for a deep connection, which is important. Even in instances where introverts might speak less and listen more, they're often more intentional about what they actually say, making the conversation that much more meaningful. It reminds me of the saying, think before you speak, which I think we could all benefit from doing a little bit more, and I think this is a true superpower that a lot of introverts possess. This can also just be incredibly helpful in ensuring that we respond and react in a thoughtful and healthy way. And the power of intention in general can help in terms of building chemistry because it shows that you're thoughtful and considerate in your interactions, which can build trust and emotional intimacy, which is a huge way that we build connection and chemistry with another human being. By doing things like actively listening, showing that genuine interest, and making conscious efforts to understand someone, empathy, you demonstrate commitment. Intentionality also helps create a sense of security and understanding, which are key fundamental elements of building a strong connection and chemistry with a woman or a partner in general. To wrap this one up, a lot of the things that introverts do are rooted in intention, and I think this can be really helpful and powerful for dating and specifically building deep, meaningful connections with another person. The next introvert superpower is leaving room for imagination and mystery. Introverts often leave room for mystery and imagination in dating through their kind of contemplative nature and selective sharing. This quality of introverts can lead to gradual unfolding of their personality, which creates an emotional connection based on discovery and understanding, which can be really appealing when you're dating. I always say, leave a little to be desired, leave a little room for imagination. We don't need to overshare and rush into things. We can slowly share things about ourselves in a natural way that makes sense with the flow of the relationship and the conversations that you're in. And a lot of the time, introverts spend so much time trying to get to know you as well and asking you questions in return that they don't even give themselves a chance to overshare, which is a really good thing. Again, leave a little room for imagination and mystery. This is something that introverts are often very good at naturally. And again, I think this really goes back to being intentional about things that you do and understanding that slow and steady wins the race. You don't need to rush. It's okay to take things slow. And again, leave a little room for imagination and mystery there before you just tell everything about yourself to someone. It's okay to take things slow and to have a gradual understanding of each other and to open up as the relationship progresses. And there are psychological components of this that actually make someone more interested in you. And I'm not telling you this to use as a tactic or to be manipulative, but I think it's a really healthy way to approach dating so that you make sure you're dating with that intention in mind and out of true compatibility rather than just trying to get someone to like you or rushing into it out of desperation. The next way that introverts build connections is by remembering small details. So I know I mentioned this earlier, but introverts often have a tendency to observe and process information pretty deeply. They tend to reflect and focus on details, which can lead to better memory retention, including small details that other people might overlook. Remembering small details always gets you brownie points. Introverts also typically prefer meaningful, more one-on-one interactions instead of big group situations, which can lead to sort of a heightened awareness of the details that are shared with you within these intimate conversations. You're actively listening, you're engaged, you're empathetic, you care about what people are saying, you're genuinely curious, and in return, this helps you remember small details about them that other people probably overlook. The ability to remember small details can demonstrate attentiveness and consideration, which shows that you value that other person and what they share with you. It can build a sense of connection and trust because it indicates to that other person that you're genuinely interested in their life and their experiences. This level of attentiveness helps build a deeper emotional connection as it shows that you're invested in this person and the relationship, or at least getting to know them and being a good listener. So those are just a couple really powerful ways that introverts can build true connection and chemistry with women by utilizing the skills that they're naturally good at. I'm not telling you to be something that you're not. I'm not telling you to pretend to be an extrovert. I'm telling you this as a way to really understand your personality and how you can use these positive qualities about yourself to your advantage, not only in your everyday life, but also in terms of dating. And again, I really wanted to make this video because I feel like introverts get a bad rap, especially when it comes to dating, especially if you're a man who is an introvert. I think women get away with this a lot easier than men do. I think men often like women who are introverted. I never had an issue with this dating, but I could see how it would be different as a man. However, I do think there are so many wonderful, positive qualities about introverted men that make them good partners, that make them good communicators, and that really help them build chemistry with women if they use it to their advantage. Again, not telling you to be manipulative, not telling you to play any games. These are simply strengths about yourself that you can use to your advantage. I also want to say that sometimes introverts are shy. Sometimes introverts do have social anxiety, but just because you're an introvert doesn't mean that you automatically have those things. Again, as I mentioned, these are entirely different things that sometimes people have both of, right? But not every single introvert is shy or socially awkward or has social anxiety. Now, if you have those things, I would encourage you to work on them and practice skills that are going to make you better in social situations. I think these are skills that everyone should try to develop and really get to a place where you feel comfortable and confident in social interactions. And maybe I could do a video on how to work on these things, how to develop your social skills, how to get better at communicating with people, things that you can do to build your confidence. I'd be more than happy to cover those videos if you guys would want to see it. I would love to hear from you down below if you are someone who is dating as an introvert or you've dated an introvert. I would just love to hear your both positive and negative experiences and how you think that your experience could be better or how knowing certain information could have made your experience better. Again, I think a lot of guys go into dating as an introvert and feel these limiting beliefs. They feel unnecessary anxiety about it because of things they've seen online or the fact that introverts sometimes get an untrue and bad rap. But I hope this video gives you a little confidence boost when you're dating that really helps you understand that you have a lot of positive qualities that you can use to your advantage in your dating life. So let me know what you think down below. If you liked this video or found it helpful, be sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel to be in the loop for when I release new content. If you haven't already, be sure to follow me over on Instagram at Courtney Christine Ryan. I love connecting with all of you guys over on there as well. As always, thank you all so much for watching, and I will see you all next time.